Welcome back, Empress. You look absolutely breathtaking.
Thank you, darling. It's wonderful to see you.
Please have a seat. The audience is dying to hear from you. You donated an entire building for a homeless shelter and even furnished it yourself. What inspired something so life-changing?
I've always believed if you're blessed, you should bless other people.
That's beautiful.
Knowing families could finally feel safe, warm, and cared for, honestly, that meant more to me than anything money could buy.
Looking back at the season now, what moment are you the proudest of emotionally?
I'm honestly most proud of the friendships I built, especially with Christy. We really showed up for one another during difficult moments in our lives.
That's beautiful.
There were so many glamorous trips and beautiful events, but the emotional moments behind closed doors, the conversations, the support, the healing, the sisterhood, that's what meant the most to me.
You entered this group already knowing Sonya, Nika, and Neek. Did that make filming easier?
A little bit of both, honestly. It made certain moments feel more comfortable because there was already history there, but at the same time, it also made certain tensions hurt more because these weren't strangers to me.
Watching Sonya and Niecy fighting in Kentucky, what was going through your mind?
It honestly made me appreciate genuine friendships more. Life is already stressful enough, so I really value peace, loyalty, and people who communicate honestly.
You didn't win the Rodeo Queen contest. Were you disappointed?
I mean, of course I wanted the crown. But honestly, the memories and experience meant more to me. And who says I can't come back next season and win it?
That's the spirit. You and Christy became inseparable after Kentucky. What made you trust her so quickly?
With Christy, it just felt natural. We connected instantly over life, healing, heartbreak. It never felt forced. She honestly became like family to me.
What was your favorite Kentucky memory viewers didn't fully get to see?
The late nights at the lake house, honestly. Just all of us laughing, talking about life, no glam, no drama. Those moments really bonded us.
Sounds perfect. Was Cape Town the moment your friendship with Christy became unbreakable?
Absolutely. That trip changed our friendship forever. We both opened up about pain we were carrying privately, and after that, we were sisters. When Christy came out and let us know that she was getting a divorce, I pulled her aside and took her on a trip to Tulum. That's when I shared my side of my divorce.
So, Georgina, you're a model and entrepreneur, and you have traveled quite a bit. What was your first impression of Dubai?
I absolutely loved it. It reminded me so much of home with its desert landscape. It truly is like a mirage.
When the prince kissed your hand in Dubai, what went through your mind?
Honestly, I froze. It felt so old world romantic and mysterious. I was instantly intrigued by him.
When Christy told you to follow the purple lights to the Amethyst Suites, did you secretly hope the prince would be there?
Maybe just a little bit. I was curious, honestly, but when I heard his voice behind me, my heart definitely skipped a beat.
You started this season healing from heartbreak and ended it falling for a prince. Does that feel surreal?
It really does. This season taught me that healing doesn't mean becoming cold. You can still choose softness, love, and happiness after heartbreak.
Now, Christy is your bestie, and as best friends, you look out for one another. But did you ever think she would be introducing you to a prince?
I never could imagine that she'd become the one that healed my heart without trying. She's the best.
Georgina, what was the biggest misconception about you this season?
I think the biggest misconception was that because I'm quiet and avoid drama, people assume I'm naive or unaware of what's happening around me.
Interesting, thank you. Georgina, what was the biggest misconception about you this season?
I think the biggest misconception was that because I'm quiet and avoid drama, people assume I'm naive or unaware of what's happening around me. Trust me, I see everything. I just choose peace over chaos.
Did you ever feel excluded from the group?
I wouldn't necessarily say excluded, but there were definitely moments where I felt a shift in energy. Sometimes it felt like certain conversations were happening around me instead of with me. I noticed it, but I chose not to let it steal my joy.
Which friendship felt the most genuine to you this season?
Without question, Christy. Our friendship was built through real conversations, vulnerability, and supporting each other through some of the hardest moments of our lives.
What would you like viewers to know that wasn't shown this season?
I'd love viewers to know that there were so many beautiful moments of friendship, laughter, and support that didn't always make it on screen. People see the drama, but they don't always see the late-night conversations, the encouragement, the check-in phone calls, and the genuine love that happened behind the scenes.
For one unforgettable season, friendships were tested, secrets were exposed, love was celebrated, and loyalty came with a price. This season belonged to an empress. But tonight, there will be no filters, no truth, no chats, no escape. Will finally take center stage.
Welcome to the Empress AI Wives reunion.
Sonya, this season was filled with business ventures, relationship milestones, and legal drama. What was the most stressful part of your year?
The most stressful part wasn't the businesses or even the cameras. It was trying to carry everything at once while producing the show and planning a future with Kyron. I reached a point where I was mentally exhausted. That's why I made the decision to go to the wellness center. I needed to choose myself for once.
Did the cast support you during your hardest moments, or did they make things worse?
Some women absolutely showed up for me. Nikki checked on me. Phoenix opened her doors and gave me a safe place to heal. Others offered support cameras weren't rolling. But there were also people who seemed more interested in talking about my struggles than helping me through them. That's something I won't forget.
Looking back at the wine incident, is there anything you would change?
I wish I would have walked away. No matter how angry I was in that moment, reacting emotionally only created bigger problems. I've taken accountability for my actions, and I've spent a lot of time reflecting on that situation. Growth means being honest about where you were wrong.
Which cast member disappointed you the most?
The disappointment wasn't about one argument. It was seeing people I genuinely cared about choose division over communication. There were women I expected more from because of the relationship we had off camera. That's what hurt the most.
Do you believe some women used your struggles for storylines?
I do. When your pain becomes someone else's talking point, you notice it. Some people were more invested in discussing my mental health, my relationship, or my legal issues than sharing their own lives. But that's okay because the audience can tell the difference between authenticity and opportunism.
How has your relationship with Cario changed your life?
Cario brought peace into a chapter of my life that was full of chaos. He reminds me that I don't have to carry everything alone. He supports my businesses, respects my independence, and loves me without trying to control me. After everything I've been through, that kind of partnership is priceless.
What boundaries are now non-negotiable for you moving forward?
My mental health is not up for debate. My relationship is not a storyline. My family is off limits, and access to me has to be earned. I've spent too many years giving people unlimited access to my energy, my time, and my heart. Moving forward, peace comes first.
Niecy, do you believe your issues with Sonya could have been resolved privately?
Absolutely. Every single issue Sonya and I had could have been handled between two grown, wealthy, powerful women in a private room. That is actually what I wanted. I am not a woman who needs an audience to have a hard conversation. But the other woman does not operate that way. She needs witnesses. She needs a stage. When I tried to pull her aside in Kentucky, she sent me to the lake house and told her staff to deal with me after dinner, like I was a scheduling conflict. So yes, I believe it could have been resolved privately. I just was not dealing with a woman who wanted a private resolution. She wanted a moment and she got several.
What was the exact moment your friendship with another woman broke down?
Greece. When she arranged those sleeping situations the way she did, deliberately, for her own amusement, that was the moment I realized we were not on the same page and never had been. I came to Greece in good faith. I came to bond, to travel, to be present with these women. And Sonya used that trip to play games with grown women's comfort for her own entertainment. That is not what a friend does. Greece was the moment the friendship broke down. Everything after that was just confirmation.
Were there moments when you felt you escalated situations unnecessarily?
Calling another cast member a lowlife at the Kentucky Airy. I should not have chosen those words, and I own that. That is the one moment I look back on and wish I had expressed my frustration differently.
But I want to be very clear. Calling someone a name and physically throwing wine on someone are two completely separate things. I said words I regret. Sonya committed an act. Those are not equal, and I will not sit here and let them be treated as if they are.
Do you regret any blog posts, interviews, or public comments?
What I regret more than anything I said publicly is what happened after another cast member threw that Chardonnay on me at Martha's Vineyard. I called the police because I was violated and I was not about to stay there 1 second longer. I had my helicopter pick me up because I was not going to beg for a ride off a yacht belonging to the woman who had just attacked me. I left with my dignity intact. Another woman was escorted off her own ship and then escorted right back on. No arrest, nothing. And then she had the nerve to blame my digital assistant and AI for leaking the incident. Someone on that boat was paid to talk and exactly who that was.
Okay.
Clear. The truth does not need a publicist.
What would it take for you and Sonya to move forward?
Necky, a real conversation. Not for the cameras, not on a reunion stage, not through a publicist, gangster in Greece, a real face-to-face conversation with standing up on that counter boat in front of everyone for the things she has done on Chardonnay on me, then coming back the next day like she was the one who was wrong. I do not need a grand gesture. I do not need a press release. I need her to look me in the eye and be honest. I am not an unreasonable woman. I have never been the aggressor in this situation. I have responded. If Sonya can come to that table with genuine accountability and not a performance of it, then I am open. I have always been open. The question has never been whether I am willing to move forward. The question is whether Sonya is willing to be real enough to get there.
Well, Sonya, after the break, you'll have a chance to respond. A woman, you've heard everything another woman had to say. What's your response?
First of all, I think it's interesting that every road somehow leads back to me. According to another woman, I arranged Greece, I ruined Greece, I caused Kentucky, I caused Martha's Vineyard, I caused every disagreement, every conflict, every uncomfortable moment. At some point, we have to stop pretending that grown women don't make their own decisions.
Sonya, you've heard everything Niecy had to say. What's your response?
First of all, I think it's interesting that every road somehow leads back to me. According to Niecy, I arranged, I ruined Greece, I caused Kentucky, I caused Martha's Vineyard, I caused every disagreement, every conflict, every uncomfortable moment. At some point, we have to stop pretending that grown women don't make their own decisions. Now let's talk about Greece. The sleeping arrangements were exactly that, sleeping arrangements. Nobody was denied a room, nobody was sleeping outside, nobody was mistreated. What surprised me was how quickly a room assignment became a character assassination. In Kentucky, I remember Kentucky very clearly. I remember being called names. I remember being disrespected. I remember being provoked. What I don't remember is taking a microphone and spent the next year pretending I played no role in what happened. What I find interesting is that every conversation about Martha's vermin starts at the glass of wine. It never starts with the weeks of tension. It never starts with the insults. It never starts with the accusations. It never starts with the things that happened before cameras picked up that moment. And as far as this idea that I somehow use people for entertainment, trust me, I don't need manufactured drama. I was producing a television show, running businesses, dealing with legal issues, protecting my mental health, and planning a future with Cario. I had enough going on without creating storylines. Now let me address something else. Niecy said she wanted private conversations. And honestly, I wish we had more of them.
Because somewhere along the way, every difficult conversation between us became public before it became productive. Do I think we could have handled things differently? Absolutely. Do I think we both made mistakes? Absolutely. Do I think either one of us was completely innocent? No.
So are you saying you're open to moving
I'm
forward?
saying something very simple. If Niecy truly wants a real conversation without cameras, without headlines, without an audience, I'm willing to have it. Do I think we could have handled things differently? Absolutely. Do I think we both made mistakes? Absolutely. Do I think either one of us was completely innocent? No.
So are you saying you're open to moving forward?
But it has to be honest. It cannot be a list of everything Sonya did wrong. It has to be a conversation about everything that happened. The good, the bad, and the truth. Because despite everything, I never hated the other woman. I was hurt, and there is a difference.
Well, that might be the closest we've gotten to a breakthrough all season.